Thinking of playing Iron Cross. It is still the Russian player turn, first game turn. It's the 5th phase, which is defensive fire phase. So the non-phasing player in this case, so the Germans are going to declare and conduct fire attacks. They can do that with any normal status units other than those who conducted opportunity fire or moved during the previous reaction movement phase. All right, we'll go right down the numbers here. So announce attacks. These two German riflemen right here on Hill Kilo are going to attack. I wonder if that blocks line of sight, because I want to fire across to these Russians in the open in the up combat state. Okay, so I'm going to extrapolate here and say that hex side blocks line of sight. I don't personally care for that, but yeah, that's how I'm going to treat that for now anyways. So I'll just switch to these two German riflemen are going to try to hit these Russians that are behind a tree and in down posture. All right, so I announce my attack, determine line of sight. So again, it's up level 1 and Hill Kilo, down line of sight. So we're just going through one hex with one tree in it, and they're in the clear. All right, so attempt observation. The base is 10. Let's calculate our range first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12x range. All right, so observation. The base to observe there is I know what I need. Base observation number is 10 for clear terrain. All right, so figure out our modifiers. So the net modifier is +1. That's +1 for the range, +1 for the tree hex, +1 for the Russians being in the down state, and then it's -2. Yeah, -2 for them having moved in the last 3 phases for net +1. There we go. 4 + 1 is 5, easily 10 or less. So they observe. So again, I'll get out before I forget. I will get out spotted markers, and then we will go on to all right, so this is that was all attempt observation. Now we do PCs to fire. There we go. So we have a 9 and a 7 for the, but let's figure out if there are any modifiers to that. Morale recovery, leader directed movement, opportunity fire says not opportunity fire, grenade attacks, assault. So I think it is a straight PC check. I don't see any. 9, just barely. So we've got, was that Holt? Passed. And, no. So, that's dramatic difference. So, Booma, chickens out, and does not come through. So it's just one rifleman firing. Okay, so that's PCs to fire. Total modified firepower, it's 3. Oh, we said the range was 12. Base initial range is 8 here for the German rifleman. So it's one increment or span beyond that. So now the firepower goes down to 2. Firepower drops to 2. That's for range attenuation. Oh, that's too bad. So I don't think there is any doubling, halving, 30, or quartering. And oh, there is a tree along the line of sight. So it's -1 again. Ah, that's down to 1. Okay. So 1. How did I deal with this before? Okay, I like this. This is how I dealt with it before. I think I'm kind of, yeah, I am interpreting. So I think 1 is pinned, and there's nothing left. There's no, I don't think we go any further. So that means that the best we can get is a pinned on a roll of 1. Okay, so it's 1 die. So now we determine AP dice. It's 1 for the clear terrain plus another die for the target unit in a down state. So that's the benefit of the Russians being in the down state. Now, obviously, these two together, I can't get 1. So why am I still rolling? Because I do believe I'm looking for the, whatever you want to call it, the freak result. Because if more than 1 die is rolled, so I'm rolling 2 and all 1s are rolled, the result is an automatic eliminated. So I roll double 6s instead of double 1s. Okay, so no result. I did my spotting there, and just 1 is marked fired. So we moved on to the 6th phase, which is moving fire phase. So I want to say this something about this. The phasing player may attempt to fire any of his normal status units. So in that sense, it's a whole nother fire phase. However, units that have already fired may not fire in this phase, and infantry and AFV units which have moved may fire with a penalty, and then crude weapons that have moved may not fire at all. So I'll just say that since you already have a support fire phase towards the very top of the player turn sequence, I almost think this is almost an aside here, since this is such an old game. I'm not talking about making any changes to it, okay? But with everything that I've thought about game design at this point, I think that units, in addition to all of what I just said, I think there should be a baseline penalty for moving fire phase fire anyways, meaning, or that simulates that that the units have held their fire to see what's happening. That's one way to look at it. So in other words, what I'm saying is maybe fire during the moving fire phase, all fire during the moving fire phase has a baseline penalty of, let's say, 20%, and then on top of that there's another, let's say, another 20% for units that have also moved. Wait a minute, why wouldn't you just give the same penalty to all units? Unless this design is meant, unless this is, okay, actually maybe this is not meant to show that units held their fire to see what was going to happen, but maybe this is to show that they have been firing, maybe even just sporadically throughout the turn up to this point. Okay, all right, just a comment. But moving fire phase, so the Russians are, so every Russian has moved, so they're all going to take a movement penalty. None of the crude weapons are going to be able to fire at all, but we are going to get in some fire here. The big one, which is also going to be my first step, announce attack, is this big stack that came on the board, went into the multi-hex building, and got into the down posture, down state, they're all going to fire, or all of them that can fire. Well, actually they should all be able to fire. So I'm announcing the attack. This whole stack is going to attempt to fire at the two Germans up there on Hill Kilo. So that's my announcement. Determine line of sight. It's clear. Attempt observation. They do have to observe. And by the way, the fact that these guys, oh no, that's their observation marker. So actually, that's not even relevant. Okay, so the Russians need to do their own observation here. The base, actually, they are in. I'm treating that as a woods hex. I'm treating that as 3 trees. So it is a woods hex. So let's start range. I think it's 8. It's 8. So range of 8. The base observation number for a woods hex is 9. Yeah, I think it is 9. There's 9 for the base observation number. So then, all right, so range of 8, base observation number of 9. I get to, again, pluses are bad, so I got up to 6 pluses. So that's 3 for each of the tree symbols in that hex, plus another 1 for the target units being non-AFE units in downstate, and another +2 for the observing units having moved in the last 3 phases. So we go back 3 phases from now. We're in the moving fire phase. We go back defensive fire, reaction movement, and movement phase. That they moved in the movement phase. So +6, that's pretty horrible, but we do get -2 for, yeah, so this is where the firing unit or markers matter, right? Because one of those soldiers, this soldier, fired over here, and so that is, if any non-machine gun unit in the target hex used AP fire, that was AP fire, in the last 3 phases, -2. So this is going to be a net +4 right there. I think that's it for observation. Oh, I thought about this before. I'm not going to change anything, but I wonder if I shouldn't have used the APL in the adjacent hex. I think, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head, I didn't check this, maybe I could have made this group fire, in which case maybe then the commander, this is a commander, would have brought this down another 2 for observation, I think. In other words, I think maybe the leader here could have helped the soldiers there spot the enemy, but I'm not going to go back and redo anything, but I wonder about that. All right, so they need a low 6, 10, so they missed it. All right, so 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, which is greater than the 9 needed to observe. We'll leave the range at 8, so now they're just going to, so I'm not going to place my observation, markers because it's unobserved, but they are still going to go for unobserved fire. So what we have here is we have unobserved fire and moving fire. So let's figure this out. Okay, so next was PCs to fire. These 4 succeeded. These 2 failed their PC check, so they're just set them off to the side. They're not taking part. I think in a more complex game, or maybe I missed something in the rules, I think there should be some type of influence. Like these 4 passed, these 2 didn't. I was just rolling against each of their proficiency ratings. I think maybe there should be some type of influence. Anyways, so we have 4. So yeah, we have 4 riflemen, so it's kind of easy. It's 6, it's 12 to start. I think it's 12. So okay, now we go in what order? So Well, look at that. We have a light machine gun. So does that matter? I know I need to do ammo for it when we're all done. Has the same. So maybe the LMG. The LMG should have stayed in the up. Isn't that interesting? So probably can't see that it goes from 8 AP fire in the up state to way down to 3 in the down state. So it's almost like the LMG should have stayed in the up posture at the risk of being easier to sight or observe. Yeah. Okay, so 12, we go in order here. So there's no range attenuation for the light machine gun. There is range attenuation for the riflemen because their printed range is 7. So we're going to subtract 3, 1 for each of those riflemen. So now we're down to 9. 9. Now that's range attenuation. Now we have, for being unobserved fire, I guess that's halved, rounded up. Well, I guess I'll check. Observation. They're not observed is reduced by 1/2. Oh, that's funny. It doesn't. Wait, it's probably down here. Wait, it looks like machine guns do not have to observe target X's. Wait, machine guns using, no, we're not doing that. Rounded up, okay. All right, so I think the light machine gun is in direct fire mode. I think that it's just normal. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, down to 5. So that's for unobserved fire. And then do we have anything else? They moved. Okay, so what's the penalty for having moved? Firing unit moved this turn. Oh, we just add a die. Okay, so the final firepower I think is 5. No, we have to adjust. Wow. Not surprising at all. These are 2 soldiers in the down state in a woods hex at, what, 80 meters? And the Russians have moved. Not really unusual at all. But this is going to get -1 for each tree in the target hex. Oh. No, this is the 3rd step. Any other reduction, such as terrain effects. So we halved, rounded up. Now from 5, we subtract 3 for those trees. Oh, wow. Is that 2? I think that's 2. That's not unrealistic. Okay. So we have 2 is pinned. 2 is pinned. 1 would be suppressed, and I don't think we would have an eliminated because we have a 1 for suppressed, I think. Okay, so that is a woods hex. So it's 2 dice, and now it's +1 because they moved. That's the penalty, and target is in down state. Wow. Okay, so with this, we need the lucky roll, which is even, this is vanishingly small possibility. So it's basically it's basic. So we would have to, so the only result that would apply is if we were to miraculously roll all 1s, and that would eliminate a target. That's it. Okay. But I'm moving with it.